What's up, everybody? TP Sports Focus here. This time I'm going to be talking about the AFC Championship game between the Denver Broncos at home taking on the New England Patriots. And boy, is Tom Brady a thorn in the side of Peyton Manning or what. He's got to go through him again in order to get to the Super Bowl, as he had to do in his only Super Bowl before. Key injuries on both sides that we'll get to, but what do you guys think? I'm really interested to see what everyone else's opinion on this game is. Is Peyton Manning finally going to be able to get over that hump, win a second championship? You know, he's coming on the end of his career here, and, you know, a lot of people are starting to wonder, a lot of his critics, you know, great, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time, especially when you're talking regular season. But what about the playoffs? He's been outdueled, you know. What about when it comes to Tom Brady? Who's going to go down as the best quarterback? Maybe of all time. I know there's other people to take into consideration, but especially with these two, who's better, Tom Brady or Peyton Manning? I know that, you know, Peyton Manning now holds a touchdown record in a season, the yards record in a season, but you know what? Tom Brady's got more Super Bowl rings. He's outperformed Manning in a lot of their one-on-ones, but unfortunately, it's hard to say. Football, there's 22 guys on a field at a time, and you know, you can't put it on the shoulders of one guy all the time. So it's hard to say. But will Manning get over the top, win another Super Bowl, or will Brady be back playing yet again in another Super Bowl? What do you guys think? Make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Drop this video a rate while you're there. My opinion, I think Peyton Manning is going to be able to get to his second Super Bowl and get the job done against Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Now, it's hard to count out Tom Brady. Obviously, look at his resume. It speaks for itself, and he's got a guy like Bill Belichick helping him out. LeGarrette Blount's playing some of the best football that he's played in his career from the running back position, really helping out with a new style of offense they got going in New England. But really quick, let's talk about the key injuries. No Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski Gronk was responsible for 90 yards on 7 receptions and some key plays in the game earlier in November when they played against each other. That's, you know, Kembrell Tompkins suffered a concussion last week. Tom Brady's been looking his way a little bit more as the season's gone on. Will he be able to play? If he does play, will he be 100%? We still don't know yet, as we're coming up here. Still not rolling into the weekend just yet. But I think the biggest key injury in this game and the loss is going to be for the Denver Broncos. They will not have Von Miller. In that game, he was a big reason why Denver had that big lead to begin with. It wasn't Peyton Manning. A lot of people think that Peyton Manning was the reason why the Denver Broncos were up 24-0 at halftime. But mind you, Peyton Manning had his worst game of this season in that game against the Patriots back in November. He only threw 150 yards, 19 completions on 36 attempts. Didn't really have a great game. And like I said, it was his worst game this season. What really propelled them to that early lead was Von Miller. He had a 60-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown, and he had a strip sack of Tom Brady that led to one of Stephen Wrigley's touchdowns. So, when you keep that in mind, you lose him, one of the best pass rushers there is in the NFL. That is going to be a key factor. Also, for the Broncos, no Chris Harris. That's their top defensive back, their top corner. What are they going to be able to do without him? And also, an elusive pass rusher on the other side, defensive end Derek Wolfe. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say. You know, there's a lot of question marks out there. Tom Brady was able to lead a 24-point halftime comeback, okay, with these guys playing, and now they're not playing. It's hard to say, but I still think the Denver Broncos are going to be able to get the job done. When you look at what they're able to do on offense, they're going to spread you out. They got Julius Thomas, who's a big athletic body in the middle of the field between the numbers. You got Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker, of course Wes Welker, who's one of the toughest slot receivers to cover in the NFL, and somebody that Tom Brady's probably still missing in New England. When you look at New England, they've had to kind of shift their offense with the loss of some of the guys that they don't have anymore, and they're leaning more on LeGarrette Blount, a guy who really hasn't had all that successful of a career up to this point, but now he's playing the best football of his career. I think that's too big of a question mark coming into an AFC Championship game to rely on LeGarrette Blount. Because, Tom Brady nursing that shoulder injury, he was out of practice today. They said with an illness. They also still nursing that shoulder. When it comes down to it, I like a healthy Peyton Manning, and not just him, but Noshawn Moreno, who also had his career best 244 rushing yards against the Patriots last time they met. When all this comes together, I have the Denver Broncos winning this football game 30-24 in a tough game. It's going to be back and forth, but I feel like the Broncos and Peyton Manning are going to be able to get over the hump and stay there this time. Again, let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment, rate, subscribe if you like what we're doing here. Thanks a lot.